1,000 weapons. That's the number Iran builds entirely on its own. Missiles, drones, air defenses, the machinery of war at industrial scale. Even if factories burn, production keeps moving. The arsenal is spread, decentralized, and still growing. So if Iran can make 1,000 weapons at home, how much of its military power has the world actually seen? As tensions continue to ripple across the region, Iran is signaling that its military capability is not only intact, but expanding. According to Defense Ministry spokesperson Brigadier General Reza Tlaei Neek, Iran produces more than 1,000 types of weapons domestically, including missiles, drones, and military systems. He said this capability is the result of more than 25 years of sustained investment in the country's defense sector.
Today, more than 1,000 types of weapons are produced entirely domestically. This capacity is the result of more than 25 years of investment and preparation in the defense industry, to the extent that even if some facilities are damaged, the process of production and support continues across the country's geographical expanse. In this process, around 9,000 companies are cooperating with the armed forces and the Ministry of Defense.
He further emphasized that the production lines are fully indigenous and no longer reliant on external supply chains. The Defense Ministry also noted that a significant portion of Iran's missile capabilities remains unused, while highlighting what it described as a high level of defensive and retaliatory readiness. These remarks come after what officials referred to as heavy engagement against what they called unlawful aggression by the United States and Israel. According to Tlaei Neek, during this period, Iran's armed forces maintained dominance over the skies of what he described as the occupied territories as part of their retaliatory operations. He further stated that the strategic Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has closed to all traffic in response to what it calls an illegal American blockade, has become a key lever of control. He said the armed forces have used this position to force enemy forces to retreat in the Gulf of Oman on multiple occasions, exercising what he described as smart and comprehensive control over the maritime choke point. The spokesperson also pointed to widespread public mobilization within the country. He described nationwide rallies in support of the Islamic establishment as a social miracle, noting that more than 30 million people have registered in a national campaign expressing readiness to defend the country. According to him, this level of mobilization represents an unprecedented example of unity and has countered what he described as efforts by adversaries to divide the population. These statements collectively present a picture of a defense system designed for resilience, decentralization, and sustained operation under pressure. At the same time, the emphasis on control over key strategic points, such as the Strait of Hormuz, underscores the broader geopolitical dimension of this posture, where military capability intersects with economic and maritime influence. As Iran highlights its indigenous production, operational readiness, and mass mobilization, the message remains clear. The country is positioning itself not only to withstand external pressure, but to respond on multiple fronts if required. On March 17th, US and Israel targeted Gholam-Reza Soleimani, commander of Iran's Basij force, who was holding a high-level meeting in a makeshift tent on the outskirts of Tehran. A precise Israeli airstrike killed Soleimani, his deputy, and dozens of senior commanders. The target was not nuclear infrastructure or missile sites. It was the Basij, a force that does not wage conventional war, but enforces control over Iran's 88 million citizens. The question why the Basij is a legitimate one, says T, an Air Force pilot who took part in those strikes.
After all, they do not threaten us directly. They do not launch missiles. But they are part of the governing system, part of the bad people who ultimately harm us, our families. When you're fighting a group that controls and attacks you around the clock, you need to strike every one of its capabilities.
In Persian, Basij means mobilization, formally the Organization for Mobilization of the Oppressed. Established in 1979 by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, it was envisioned as a mass civilian force to defend the revolution. During the Iran-Iraq War, that vision turned into reality. Thousands of young recruits, some just 12 years old, were sent to the front lines, even tasked with clearing minefields, driven by ideology and promises of martyrdom. But over time, the Basij's role shifted. No longer focused outward, it turned inward, becoming one of the regime's most powerful tools of domestic control. Today, the Basij operates as a vast, decentralized network, embedded into every layer of Iranian society. Its structure follows what officials describe as a mosaic defense, a system designed so that even if central command is destroyed, each province, each neighborhood continues to function independently. Every area acts as its own cell, capable of maintaining order, suppressing dissent, and enforcing authority without direct oversight. This reach is reinforced through tens of thousands of local bases in mosques, schools, universities, and workplaces, ensuring that the presence of the Basij is not distant, but constant. During the Iran protests in January, Basij force became the primary tool of the administration to crush the dissent. Dr. Mir Javed Anfar, an Iran scholar at Reichman University, says,
If you want to be a Basiji, you have to be religious, pray, and they check you on it. But there are Basijis who do it because they get a guaranteed place at university. And yes, there are also those who receive the subsidies and employment assistance, then go home and drink whiskey.
At the core of its power lies surveillance. The Basij operates two internal intelligence networks. The first, known as Ashraf, systematically gathers detailed information on citizens, mapping behavior, beliefs, affiliations, and even media consumption. It identifies potential risks to the regime, tracking who might dissent, organize, or challenge authority. The second network, Ayun, meaning eyes, functions as an embedded informant system. It monitors not only criminal activity, but also social and moral conduct. Individuals are flagged, communities are assessed, and behavior is scrutinized. Together, these networks erase the boundary between public and private life. The result is a system where citizens live under constant observation, a structure often described as a panopticon, where the fear of being watched becomes a form of control in itself. Beyond surveillance, the Basij enforces compliance through presence. Checkpoints, patrols, and visible authority create a daily reminder of control, and when deterrence fails, force follows. Specialized units, armed and mobilized during unrest, are deployed to suppress protests, using direct violence to restore order. Even under sustained strikes, this system has not collapsed. Its decentralized nature allows it to absorb damage and continue operating. And for many Iranians, that reality defines the limits of resistance. Because as long as the Basij remains embedded in every street, every neighborhood, and every aspect of daily life, the cost of defiance remains clear, and the space for rebellion remains dangerously small.